At the state capitol, with just about a month to go until the balance of power is set to shift dramatically in Lansing, lawmakers are scrambling to push through priorities before the GOP takes control of the state house. 13 on your side political reporter Josh Albertus looks at some of what's on the docket under the dome.
As Republicans prepare to take control of the state house once again, Democrats seem busy pushing through last-minute legislation, advancing their priorities. On their way to Governor Whitmer, a pair of bills would prohibit carrying a firearm within 100 feet of a polling place or within 100 feet of an absentee ballot counting board while those ballots are being counted. Now, that doesn't apply to certain officers if you're on private property with permission, if you're transporting it in a vehicle, or have a concealed pistol. Democrats have looked to make progress on a broader swath of firearms reform, it would seem, in these final days as well, including prohibitions on non-lawmakers or non-officers carrying firearms or concealed pistols inside the Capitol building or the House and Senate office buildings without permission. Those bills are still in the works, and requiring state law enforcement potentially to destroy firearms they purchase through gun buyback programs. But while that's been a focal point recently, it's far from the only one, seemingly. Just this week, lawmakers on both sides introducing more than 60 bills in one day. Anything from creating a statewide contest to redesign the state flag to requiring access to safe drinking water when a water source is positive for PFAS, and requiring schools to have feminine hygiene products for at-risk students, and creating a tax credit for those who donate those products to schools. But even though they're the ones still with the current majority, Democrats aren't the only ones on the move. You'll remember earlier this week, we brought you news of a plan out from House Republicans proposing shifting funding sources to give another roughly $3 billion to infrastructure with a large emphasis on local roads. And it's not always full steam ahead for what up until this point publicly was a pretty unified Democratic caucus. Some Democrats are posting to social media critical of leaders for, in their view, putting important issues on the back burner and putting special interests at the front of the line. So we'll have to wait and see what Democrats choose to do with their control in the final days of this trifecta.